Welcome back to another daily upload. In today's video, we're talking about the R8 and the wrap that we're doing on it. This is kind of just an update on where we are, what we have left to do. I would say it's about 90% complete. We have some work to do on the front bumper. We need to rewrap the mirrors, so we'll show you here why we have to do that. I'm working on getting the bumper put on because I want to get the car as complete as I can while I'm waiting for more vinyl. I was a little bit short, so hopefully I should get that in the next couple of days. And then this is day 7 working on the car. It's not hard, on a scale of easy to hard, it's not extremely hard to do, but it is very, very time consuming, especially since there are multiple pieces on the car. Just doing all of them individually obviously takes a lot of time. I'd say we average about 5 hours a day so far working on this. And there has been a lot that we haven't shown you just because it'd be more time-lapse footage and more cinematic shots just doing the rest of the car and things like that. I'm gonna throw in some of that today, but just wanna show you an update where we are, and we are almost complete with the car. I cannot wait to finish up this project. Tires are now off, and something I haven't shown you, this whole project, I have not been able to use this. The bolts from Audi are like extremely special, I'm guessing, because none of those 4 fit, so I've had to use the socket. Not the worst thing in the world, but I do have the correct socket to get those off. Both wheel wells are out now, and before I remove this part with the Audi logo, I just wanted to show you guys one last look with the bumper delete and the Army Tricks exhaust showing off here. It's quite a lot of work to take the bumper off and expose the entire exhaust, but I've been rolling around with like this for about a month or so, and it's been pretty cool. But honestly, I am ready to get the car done, get the whole bumper wrapped, and get it back on the car. Unfortunately, you can't see the exhaust at all with the bumper on. So one last look at the blue titanium exhaust. Sounds awesome. Hopefully you guys have seen the previous videos. Now the Audi logo section has been removed. I also went ahead and loosened both of the main hangers, so that's where this red portion is on both sides. That holds the top of the exhaust, so we have to put a heat shield around both of those sides before we can go any farther. I do have to remove the crash bar in order to do that. And again, if you saw in a previous video, these bolts came loose. I have Loctite, so that way we can, trip over that. So that way I can have everything secure before the bumper goes on. There are a couple other bolts I need to do that to as well. That really wasn't all that bad. When you start to do this 2 or 3 times, it makes it much easier to do. Now, putting the heat shield back on, we had to take this apart in like 5 different sections. Otherwise, we would have had to take the exhaust off in order to do it in one section. So it's kind of going to be tricky to piece this all back together. The one you just saw there is the one we have to slide around the main bolts holding the exhaust on, and then that's going to cover this entire section here. And then pretty much we just kind of have to bolt it all the way back up. So we're going off of memory on redoing this, and it turns out we have to take more of the car apart than we thought. We have both of the taillights out. We have to loosen both of these hangers because they're solid right now. If we loosen at least one side, we can angle them out of the way, so that way we can slide the heat shield up and in it. So there's a little bit of a setback in taking more things apart. Well, that took longer than I was expecting, and I did manage to get all of but 2 bolts in. These top 2 little pieces right here really have no purpose there. So I've got everything in but those two. Now we need to start on each side here. Slowly but surely, I am making progress. Honestly, this is probably more work than it's worth. I've been at this for about 4 hours now, and I've got this side all situated. Part of these will go to the crash bar, I believe. I think these inside ones go underneath it. I'm not quite sure yet until I get that back on, but I'll go ahead and finish up on the passenger side, and then hopefully tail light, put the spoiler back together, crash bar, and then we can get on to wrapping the rear bumper. We're onto the crash bar now. So this is gonna go through it again, right? Like we did last time? Like wire through it?
Yes, actually unplug it.
So, okay.
Unplug it just from...
Alright.
I think we came through here, so we just get pinched or something.
Yeah. I think, if you want to double check me, I think that's everything. I got the spoiler back in place, taillights are in.
Everything tight?
Everything's tight.
Because this whole project started
should be tight.
because of the loose bolts.
Yeah. So,
it looks...
you ready?
Yeah.
Let's see how well this lines up. I mean, everything's gonna line up, but we just got to see how the heat shield on the outside of the exhaust is gonna, because then these can go right back on, you know?
Yeah.
You want to wire everything else, then I'll worry about all these bolts and then the heat shield bolts too. With the bumper on, we got the car back on the ground. We are moving on to the side mirrors. Now this is like the third or fourth attempt at wrapping the mirrors. We're letting this one cool, and I'll get back to that one in a second. Our very first attempt, I'll go ahead and show you a picture here. We did a couple different colors. It just wasn't looking right, and we even tried doing smaller sections of those colors, and it was just very busy. So then we changed to matte black to match the roof. And the only problem with this is we've done this side in 3 different pieces. And you can see right here, we didn't use any knifeless tape on this because we have PPF underneath it, and we could kind of just see the raised upness from that underneath the vinyl. But you can see that it is peeling on the one side, and then we have a piece up underneath, and you can kind of see a line there. So our goal was to try to do that in one piece, so have one piece of matte black vinyl. But we've kind of changed up a little bit, and we're gonna let the red here cure for just a little bit. We had the hair dryer on it, so it's very hot. And we're thinking if we let it cool, that might keep it from kind of peeling up. We have the knifeless tape you can see underneath here. So if we let it cool, hopefully that line will not peel. And then we'll have a different color here overlapping it just a little bit like we did on the rest of the car. So hopefully we can get this done. Comment down below if you've wrapped mirrors before. How did you do it? What was your method? And we'll just see if we can get something to work on these. We've let this vinyl sit for about an hour before we went ahead and ripped off the knifeless tape. And so far it's looking much better than the black side, which we already took off. Brian's working on that side. And up underneath, there's hardly any wrinkles. So I think waiting like a good hour or so, doing the mirrors, it's kind of a waiting game for us. We've figured that out, kind of trial and error. This is what, the 4th time we've wrapped the mirrors? Oh, yeah. 3rd time?
Look at the inside around the glass.
Oh yeah. Look at this. It is perfectly smooth. We also learned to angle the mirror, so we had like another 1/2 inch behind here to work with. So that really helped in smoothing everything out. And we're gonna wait until the next video for the final unveil. We still have to finish wrapping the bumper. We did not get that in today's video. Still waiting on more vinyl we have to do on the sides of the roof there and the front bumper as well. So I hope you guys are excited. Stay tuned, that'll be the next video coming. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, and we'll see you next video.